welcome back to Carnage Unleashed. I am not Wade, but he will be with us very soon. Have no fear. With me, as always, is Clayton, and we have two very special guests tonight, Levi Klein and the Mycopath Mike Russell, who will be fighting on our CFS 4 card this weekend. First and foremost, gentlemen, thank you both for taking some time to spend with us tonight.
Hey, thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. It's a pleasure.
Good to see you both. And Clayton, I will hand things to you. Good evening to you, sir. How are you doing as well?
All's good in the hood, Kev. I'm down to the final stretch. Got one more day of classes before spring break, and then I'm free for a week. Boys and I got an Airbnb in Hocking Hills, so my mind's already
Nice.
But tonight's not about me. Tonight is about our two wonderful fighters that we have with us. And Mike, I'm going to go ahead and start with you. Some of our audience members may recognize the Mycopath, Mike Russell, fought in the main event of our last Carnage Fight Series card over in Angola. Mike, what have you been doing since then?
Honestly, just working a lot. Training a little bit here and there. A lot of hiccups have happened, and just been doing what I can. Last time didn't go so well for me, and credit to Lino. Lino had a correct game plan. I actually just recently got to watch the fight, thanks to Levi. Levi told me that it was on the YouTube channel, and so I watched it, and I was like, well, all right. I see what I did wrong, but I also see what Lino did right. Like Lino, all credit to Lino. He came with the right game plan. He adjusted. He's seen what I was doing, and kudos to Lino. He did the right thing, and I'm feeling good. I'm in a better place personally. A lot of things have gone right for me. I'm still climbing that hill, but I'm feeling good.
Is there anything that you've changed mindset-wise that's gotten you into this better headspace as we head into this weekend?
Honestly, it's just been life. Like, work's been going good for me. I'm in my own place now. Last time I was living with my dad, my mom just had passed. A lot of things have just gone better for me, and I'm just feeling good. It is what it is, and I'm just ready to just fight and have fun. Last time I got a little too serious. It had been a while. Had that ring rust, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to make any excuses. Like, I went in there wholeheartedly ready to kill Lino, but Lino did the right things. Like, I don't want to take anything away from him. He did everything great. He attacked when he needed to. He did the right things. He strategically did everything great. And after watching the fight, I see that more now. And I know what I did wrong. And it is what it is. And I'm just going to go out there and have a good time. So.
Awesome. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Levi, I'm going to go ahead and flip it to you, sir. Now, I got to ask before we really dive in, is this your professional combat sports debut?
Yes, it is. I mean, we've worked hard over the years to get to this point, and I'm happy and honored to finally make the debut. I mean, I'm honored to be able to share the ring with Mike Russell, a veteran of the sport. I mean, great guy. Happy that you guys are having me on your promotion. I mean, it's honestly like a dream come true. I mean, this is what everybody fights for, is to go pro.
Absolutely. The folks at home don't know you as well. Like I said, we've had Mike on here before. Why don't you start just by telling us a little bit about yourself, how you got into combat sports, and what led you to spending some time with us here this evening?
So when I was in middle school, I wrestled. I liked the battle, you got to drive to get that good outcome. You got to put the work in. And after doing that for a little while, I realized I liked jiu-jitsu more. So I started doing that. I went to a couple local MMA fights, and that's what led me down this road. Like I said, it's just that the work you got to put in to be able to achieve them goals is what I liked about it. And did about 5 MMA fights, took a little hiatus, got a family, kids, wife, and middle school coach for wrestling. Shout out Sylvania Wrestling. But just I don't know. It's all about the final outcome, I guess. I like putting in the months of work and getting in the right mindset and just building a warrior is how I look at it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I gotta ask though, important question here. How many points is that buck behind you? I gotta know. How many points you got on him?
Shoot, he's a monster, that's for sure. That's for sure. I wish I could take credit for that one, but
Hey, I respect the honesty. I respect the honesty.
Humble guy,
for sure.
humble guy. Levi's a humble guy.
Ladies and gentlemen in our audience, just a reminder, please drop any questions that you have for Mike the Mycopath Russell or Levi Klein throughout this interview. We'll get them pulled up. But Mike, I'm going to go ahead and flip it back to you, sir. Can you remind our audience how you kind of got started into combat sports? You've done a little bit of everything. You've done MMA, you've dabbled in some boxing. What's led you back to Carnage Fight Series?
So, I honestly did Tough Man in 2009. It was a split decision loss. And then about a year later, I went to 360 MMA in 2010 and fought my first cage fight in July of 2010. And then my second cage fight in December of 2010 against, I'm going to remind everybody because I want to mention Steve Smith every time I can. I fought Steve Smith, my second amateur fight in 2010. He whooped my ass, but it was a humbling, great experience. And it was an honor to share the cage with Steve, the Superfly Smith. Like, I will always mention him every time I can. So kudos to him. Rest in peace. And I've just loved the sport. I just love fighting. I've been doing it, since 2009, technically, Tough Man. So been doing it for a long time. And the reason I'm back is because I love this stuff. I love fighting. I'm not going to quit until I am forced to. I love fighting. And to take some motivation from Matt the Immortal Brown, who I was luckily able to train with a couple times. I'm gonna go till the wheels fall off. I don't care. I'm going to be forced into retirement. I love this sport. I love fighting, and until I have to quit, I'm not gonna quit. That's honestly just what it is. So,
Absolutely.
and honestly, love Levi. Kudos to Levi. I have to say, I sparred with Levi a little bit and trained with him leading up to the Lino fight. Much credit to him. Levi's a friend. Love him. We were actually supposed to fight 6.5 years ago at OCC in December in an MMA fight. So there is some history, but also like friendship. Like it's nothing but respect. But like, it's good that we can come full circle now and kickbox. It'll be
100%.
fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It'll be fun.
For sure, for sure. Levi, I'm going to go ahead and flip it back to you. You've mentioned a pretty solid grappling base from what I understand. Former wrestler, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. What made you want to switch into kind of more of a striking sport? Why kickbox?
So the whole time I did MMA, I practiced my stand-up. It was a big focus of mine not having a stand-up background. And nobody ever wanted to stand up with me in the cage. It seemed like everybody wanted to take it straight to the ground. So it's going to give me a chance to display that I have stand-up game. And honestly, it was just another fight. And like Mike said, it came full circle for me and him to be able to fight each other again. So I kind of just seized the opportunity when it arose.
For sure, for sure. Gotta take advantage of those opportunities because you only get so many in this sport, right? Nobody can fight forever.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing some support from both sides for sure in the comment section.
Shouts out to Gates Sniper Cook, who
I love Gates.
Gates, awesome.
I love that dude.
So, we normally probably would build up to this early, gentlemen, but we're here. Gates asked for it. So, should we do the
I
predictions
knew Gates
now,
was gonna
or are we
ask
going to
for
do
it. I
it
knew it.
later?
I
Oh,
love
and
it.
look
I
at
love it.
this. Wade's here to supervise us. So, look at
Oh
that.
man,
What up,
the
Wade?
what's up, Wade?
Hell yeah,
We gotta
Wade.
stop talking
Good
about
to
him
see
now.
you, Wade.
Yeah, everybody get back to be professional now, okay?
Good to see you, Wade.
Good to see you too. How you guys doing?
Good.
Not bad,
How you
not bad.
doing?
Doing all right. Sorry I'm late. I had to go pick up the ring.
Hey, it's all right.
That's
all right.
that's pretty important. We're going to need
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
on
gotta have
Saturday.
that.
Yeah,
Gotta
very
have that.
important. Much respect. Yeah, it's all good.
As far as excuses go, I think you're covered this time, boss. Shouts out to Gates. So back to Wade, you showed up at a great time. We were going to make a decision. Are we going to do our fight predictions now, or should we tease them for later? What do you think?
Ooh,
You're the boss. Boss is here.
I kind of want to dive right into the predictions.
Ooh, all right. Well, there we
Well,
go.
I'll let Mike take the lead on that one.
Oh, there you go.
All right. First off, I just want to say my first prediction is Gates wins the 170-pound tournament.
Agreed, 100%.
Just saying. That's my first prediction. Gates wins that 170-pound tournament. But all right, much respect to Gates. Much respect to Levi. I love him, but second round TKO.
Violently.
Ooh,
There we
Sorry,
go.
Levi. I love you, but I gotta make a prediction. So second round TKO.
I like it. I'm gonna say it's gonna go as long as Mike Russell can withstand the punches and kicks that are being thrown his way. Who knows if that's the first round or the second round?
I love it, Levi.
I do not see it going to a third round either way.
I love it. I'm with you.
Let's go. I'm excited. That's great for me, boys. I get to do I love those moments.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, shout
We're
out
gonna
again
bring
to
it.
Gates for
We're gonna
bringing
bring
that one. Whole card is fire. We're gonna have to talk about the rest of the card later, but I
Whole card is
will.
fire.
I will take my back seat again for now, gentlemen. I'll keep an eye on the comments. But Wade, should I hand things back to you, or should I hand them back to Clayton? Where are we going here?
Let's start off with Clayton. Let me jump into this and see where we're at.
Ooh, yeah, all right.
I'll show you how it's done, boss man. Don't worry.
We got you.
I got it.
Shit.
So, Levi, we're actually going to dive back to you real quick. What kinds of things have you been working on in the gym to get ready for this? Like you said, you coach youth wrestling, you have a family at home. How do you find the time to train, and what have you been working on?
I make time to train. You always got mornings, you got the evenings, but been really just focusing on cardio, footwork. I've been training with my nephew over the entire summer, getting him ready. He fought on one of your guys' cards, Chris Bailey. And that's what really made me want to step back into it, going out there with him. I heard Mike say something about the ring rust, and I don't feel that. I mean, maybe it's because I ain't stepped back into the ring, but in the training aspect, I feel awesome. I feel great, like peak physical fitness. I mean, my cardio's there. I'm ready. I mean, I don't know how much more work I could put in. We've known about this fight for a while, and ain't nothing slowed down since.
Hell yeah.
All right, Mike, I'm going to flip it to you, man. Like you said, you've been working a lot. Work's been going well. What kinds of things have you been working on in training?
I'll be honest, man. There's not much I've been able to work on because my truck is broke down. I just been running and training and shadow boxing and just been trying to be focused. I'll be honest, the big thing that I think is going to be the difference in this fight is I have a very, very good corner for this fight compared to last time. So, yeah.
Who's going to be in that corner?
Gary Young.
All righty. For those of you who don't know, Demolition Fight Team head coach, Findlay, Ohio, former pro MMA fighter himself.
Yeah, repping Demo this time, and Gary's in my corner. So
How did you reconnect with Gary?
Oh, dude, I've always been connected with Gary. I've always been connected with Gary for years and years and years. I reached out to him, and I haven't been able to make it down there because my truck's broke down, and I'm doing the best I can to get ready. But Gary told me that I'm always able to rep demo, and he's gonna be in my corner. So that's it's huge for me. So
All
ready to
right.
go.
Big switch for sure. Big switch. Levi, who can we expect to be in your corner this Saturday?
Same cornerman I had when I was in MMA. My older brother, he's done the sport with me for years. He's always had my back. I mean, who better to be in your corner than your brother? And then my buddy Tyler Shoshart, he was in the Army. He's done combatives. He's followed the sport for a long time. I mean, he's been one of my training partners. So both people that know me and know how I fight and know what to look out for, and great cornerman.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wade, I'm going to go ahead and kick it back over to you.
Well, I'm going to jump in real quick. Sorry, Wade, to cut you off, because I did our friend Justin Wagner in the comments a disservice. I'm a poor producer. I was flipping through and I didn't catch this question. This one goes to both of you. It says, much respect to you both and good luck to you each respectively. Are you each strikers, grapplers, or well-rounded in your own personal opinion? So we just heard from Mike most recently. So we'll ask Levi to start here. What are your thoughts on Justin's question there?
Don't get me wrong. I got a great ground game. That's definitely the base to my fighting style, but I have an awesome stand-up. I mean, I've had great coaches, great people that's worked with me with my stand-up. My cousin Carl, he's worked with pro fighters in the past. He's worked stand-up with me. I'm just really glad and ready to put on a display and show you guys that it's all there.
Well, we're going to get a chance to see it with kickboxing, which, by the way,
is
one of my favorite things that we call. That's no secret to longtime viewers. But Mike, same question for you. Self-described. How would you answer Justin's question?
Oh, definitely more of a striker. I mean, there's a reason I've had 3 professional boxing matches. Every pro MMA fight that I've had, I've hit people and they have taken me down. So, yeah, I mean, my striking match with Lino last time, he outboxed me. Like, that was, I focused too much on the kicks because most of my MMA fights, I'm scared of wrestlers, so I haven't been able to kick much. Against Lino, I focused too much on the kicks. I wanted to kick because I wanted to showcase my kicks because I've never been able to in MMA fights, because if I showcase my kicks too much, wrestlers are going to take me down. So, definitely much more of a stand-up fighter.
It makes sense to me. And again, it will lead for a good matchup, I think. I'm looking forward to watching you guys. You're being very kind to each other, and I do appreciate that. But I'm ready
We're
to
friends.
see you guys
We're
kick
friends.
each other
He's
really
cool.
freaking hard too.
We're friends. He's cool. Like, it's all good. It's nothing but love. No matter what happens, it's nothing but love between me and Levi.
Me and Mike's talked on the
once
phone.
that bell rings, it's different, but like, it's nothing but love between us. Like, Levi's a good friend. So
yeah, no, me and Mike's
all
talked
good.
on the phone numerous times since we agreed to fight, and we both agreed. There's no hurtful feelings or nothing going on here, but we both understand once that bell rings, we got a job to do.
Yeah, it's all love. It's literally all love between me and Levi. He's good people. So
appreciate that, Mike.
Yeah, appreciate you, Levi.
I can't wait. I can't wait to call it. I've got a couple other queued up here, but I will hand it back to Wade since I did steal the baton right from out of his grasp. Wade, what do you got for us, brother?
Okay. I'm not sure if you guys talked about this, but Mike, I wanted to ask you this question. Last time you had a very hard weight cut.
Yes.
Yes, very hard weight cut. And I feel like that could have played into how the outcome came out. Do you feel better, stronger, faster now that you don't have to do such a hard weight cut in such a short amount of time?
Shouts out to Daft Punk.
Yeah, I'm way closer to weight, but also I do want to note that I'm not trying to make that as an excuse. Levi Lino got me. You know what I mean? Like Lino came in with the right game plan. He caught me. He did well. I'm not trying to make the weight cut an excuse. I don't want to do that. You're right. The weight cut was hard, but I don't want to take anything away from Lino. Lino did what he had to do. He was smart. He got me. But I am glad it's at a higher weight class this time. I'm much closer. I'm not far away. I feel very comfortable with this weight class. But I don't want to make that an excuse. Lino got me. All credit to Lino. Lino came with the right game plan. Yes, I feel better, but I'm not trying to make excuses for last time.
Much respect.
Not at all.
Yeah. Much respect. Yeah, just take it as a learned lesson and move forward to get better, right?
Yes, absolutely. And all the credit to Lino. He came in with the right plan. He did what he needed to do. So I don't want to say anything to take anything away from him.
That's awesome. So, Levi, so I heard this is your pro debut.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not sure how long it's been since you've been in the cage. And you said you feel comfortable. You don't ring rust. Is there a weight cut that you had to do that's bad, or are you feeling pretty good, like you've been close, you don't have to?
So when they said 145, I took that just because that's like my walking around weight. I weighed myself this morning. I'm at 142. There's no weight cut that's gonna have to happen here. I'm gonna come in fresh feeling, and more power to Mike. I mean, I get the weight cut. I couldn't believe that he made that weight cut 35 versus Lino. That was hard for him, but
appreciate you.
More props to him. I've had bad weight cuts in my time, and then show up and your opponent ain't on weight makes it even harder. But no, I fought before at 145. It's nothing new. I used to fight 35, 45. So, like I said, I'm feeling really good.
That's good. So with that, do you have like a nutrition plan and everything that you go towards? You're not just shoving down cheeseburgers and wings?
Oh, no, not at all. So back to the whole wrestling thing. My son wrestles, and he's had to maintain his weight the whole season. So we just eat healthy as a family. Don't get me wrong. Everybody has a cheeseburger here and there or pizza,
Yeah.
but for the most part, healthy foods, just trying to keep everybody healthy in the household, especially winter months. I mean, that's the sickly months. So
Yeah. I've been sick twice in a month and a half. Yeah, just got over COVID.
Oh man.
Damn.
Oh yeah. Clayton, I'm gonna
Levi
back over to
coughs.
you.
Right.
Ah,
No.
Kev, did you say you had a couple other questions queued up? I don't want to jump the gun too much here.
I can hop in here because I've got a couple. They'll kind of just for both of you, just because we're doing kickboxing here at Carnage Fight Series, and that's something that not only maybe not everyone in our audience is familiar with, but it's different. You both have MMA experience. Mike, you've got kickboxing experience. Levi, you've done some grappling events and stuff like that. So I wanted to ask you both sort of, without having to give away any of your secrets, how do you approach? I know, Mike, you've kind of touched on this already with the kicking as it pertains to MMA. So you said against Lino, you worked a lot more leg kicks, but just in generally speaking, how do you find prepping for a kickboxing fight to be different from the other disciplines that you fought in? And so I'll go ahead and start with you, Mike.
Honestly, stand up is just a lot of cardio within your arms and your legs. And I've been trying to shadow box and do some different shoulder workouts and arm workouts and just running a lot because, look at boxers. Boxers run nonstop. They run nonstop. They do shadow boxing. They do sparring. So I've kind of tried to mimic that as best as I can in the situation that I'm in. Just running, getting my cardio up, and shadow boxing, and my kicks are there. So it's weird because like some of the MMA fighters that talk about boxing and stuff, it's less grueling. You don't have to do the grappling. The grappling is twisting of your joints, and it's rough. So stand up is less painful in the training. And I say that lightly because, again, I've said my truck is broke down and I haven't been able to do the proper training, but I've been doing this for 14, 15 years. So just doing the cardio and doing the lifting and the shadow boxing that I can, and just getting ready the best that I can. So I just feel like stand-up's easier in the training compared to the MMA because you get your knees twisted, your ankles twisted, your elbows twisted, your shoulders, your wrists. MMA is just rougher training for. You have to get ready for a lot more different things, and stand up is just more exciting to me. I like I said before, all my MMA fights, I punch them or I kick them, and then all of a sudden they want to grapple with me. And my pro MMA debut was against a stand-up fighter from Valley Flow Striking Systems out in Chicago, which, again, trains Bilal Muhammad. What's her name? The fighter that beat Amanda Nunes one time. But anyway, they have a lot of Juliana Pena. They have a lot of good fighters out there, and I fought a guy that they have there that's in the UFC, and I outstruck him, and he had to grapple me. So I like my stand-up. I like my striking. Obviously, didn't show my last fight. Lino brought the game plan correctly, and kudos to him. But I feel confident about my striking. I feel good, and whether Levi gets me or not, I'm gonna go out there and have fun, and I'm just gonna put on the best show that I can.
I don't doubt that. And thank you for that answer, Mike. Levi, I'm going to ask you the same question based on some of what Mike just said. If cardio is indeed the name of the game for striking, the one thing I remember from all my time as a youth basketball player is we often had to share the school, maybe the gymnasium, with the wrestlers in wintertime. And so I know that wrestlers know a thing or two about cardio. You've got a wrestler in the family. You guys are eating together. Are you also running together? How do you feel about training for kickboxing as opposed to MMA?
So the whole family. I have 3 boys. All 3 of them wrestle. So I mean, that's a big chunk of our life. Is just getting ready for wrestling and tournaments and everything. But I mean, cardio is everything. You can't fight if you can't breathe. You can't wrestle if you can't breathe. You're not thinking straight. So I mean, that's a huge factor of it. But the difference between the getting ready for MMA and getting ready for the kickboxing, it's really not a huge difference to me. A little less grappling, but I mean, I like the grappling. It helps with the cardio. So it's just another thing we throw in there. But at the same time, we've done a lot more stand up, just working angles a lot. I mean, it is a whole different beast, but I agree with Mike. I feel like it's less grueling per se to do stand up training. But I really think that depends on your training partner. There's some days you'll go in there and get your stuff handed to you, and some days you go in there and don't. So,
yep.
Oh, thank you. Thank you both for that. I appreciate it. And Clayton, I'll hand things back to you, sir.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Mike, like we said, you've been around the game for a minute. You've done a lot of different stuff, fought a lot of different guys. Do you have a favorite discipline to compete in?
I mean, kickboxing. That's why I'm doing this. It's kickboxing. I all 3 boxing matches that I've had, people put their foot forward, and I have to think differently because I'm like, oh, I want to kick them in their leg because they're putting their foot forward, but I can't. So then I have to like rethink myself and reprogram myself and like, oh, it's just punches. And man, the 3 guys that I've boxed are next level. I mean, Razimian Ford was my pro boxing debut. He's like 8-2, really good. The next guy that I boxed was a Russian who is, I don't know, 6-1 with a title. And then the next that I boxed, I had to jump up weight classes to 147. At the time, I was weighing like 135, 136. So I had to eat a bunch of food, drink a bunch of water to make 143 to fight him. He knocked me the hell out in the first round. I'm not gonna lie. He rocked me in the first round. I shook the cobwebs. I rolled around. I was okay. And then once that 10-second mark hit, I felt I was safe. He knocked me unconscious with like 2 seconds left. Also, credit to Jeremy Balboa. He fought that guy that knocked me out and fought him to a split decision. Jeremy Balboa, kudos to you. I've trained with Jeremy. He's a dog, but
Yeah, Jeremy's a dog.
yeah, he's the dog. And so yeah, I've fought some good boxers, some good strikers, and I've been hit hard. So, and honestly, I hate to sound stupid or cliche, but like I got the name Michaelpath because when I fought Steve Smith, he rocked me and I smiled and hit myself in the face. And then Steve Smith finished me in the second round, but like I got up smiling and shook his hand. So that's how I got the name Michaelpath, because who the hell gets rocked in the face and then hits himself in the face and then gets knocked out and gets up smiling? Like, I love this shit. I don't care. Like, beat my ass, Levi. I will love it. I'm ready for a war. I love fighting. I don't care win or lose. Like, yeah, Lino beat my ass, but you know what? I loved it. It was good being out there. It was fun. He taught me some lessons, and hey, if Levi beats my ass and teach me some lessons, I'm all for it. I'm just ready to go. I just love fighting. Like that's really what it comes down to. I just love fighting. Win or lose, I don't give a shit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Levi, I'm going to go ahead and ask you the same question. Do you have a favorite discipline to compete in?
Yeah, thumb wars actually. No,
I like this guy.
There we go. There we go.
no, I'm obviously ground game. I mean, that's where my passion's at. I honestly love the coaching aspect of it. Watching the kids I taught go and do big things with it. I mean, it's amazing. It makes me feel great. So my passion's definitely in wrestling and jiu-jitsu, but like Mike said, it's just at this point you got to love fighting. I mean, you can't just step out there and think that you're going to do something. You really got to love it to go through the months of training and then the anxiety of stepping into the cage. And I mean, I was just saying this on your guys' last podcast. If you ain't nervous for a fight, there's something wrong with you. So I mean, being able to overcome all that and still step in there and still bang it out with whoever it is in front of you, it's an amazing feeling. I mean, like Mike said, you have to love it.
Yep. May I just add on to what Levi said real quick? He's right. If you're not nervous, something's wrong with you. Chael Sonnen, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Darren Till, so on and so forth, have admitted that before a fight, they want the building to blow up before they go out and fight, because they don't. It's nerve-wracking. It's terrible. But like, also, it's an adrenaline rush. It's so great. It's so exciting. That's why Donald Cerrone loved it so much. He hated it and loved it, and I get that, because it's terrifying. It sucks. Like, all the pressure is on, but it's so much fun at the same time. Like, it's scary, but it's an adrenaline rush and it's fun. It's there's no way to explain it unless you've experienced it. It's
100%, 100%.
Yeah, Levi, you're right. Yep.
That makes me feel better, guys, because I still get nervous before we even broadcast pay-per-views, because I'm like, oh man, I better not say any bad words or
oh, of course, man. Like that's so natural. I mean, dude, even fighters get nervous before a fight. Like, every fighter, if they tell you that they're not nervous before a fight, they're fucking lying. Like, I'm sorry. It's you get, if you're passionate about something and you really love something, you're gonna get nervous before you do it. That's human nature. Yeah. And if anyone denies that, they're lying. So,
Either that or the
no,
stakes aren't high, because I agree with you. I think it's that personal investment. If you care about it, then
Yep.
that means even if it doesn't matter to the other 20 people in the room, the stakes are high for you. You've invested in it, therefore you're going to be nervous. And if you're not nervous, you either probably just it's just not that important to you, would be what I would
yes.
say. Or you know, you might just have an advantage. You know, maybe your heart rate. You just got one of those Ric Flair heart rates where your heart beats 29
I
times
mean,
a minute.
yeah, I agree with you, but like, yeah, your passion. I mean, I feel like Tom Brady has even admitted that like he's nervous. You know, and he's the greatest football player to ever play. So like, dude, if you're passionate about something, you're gonna be nervous. So, no, kudos to you. You're obviously passionate about what you do. I'm glad that you get nervous before these interviews because you obviously care. So, yeah, no, it's totally normal.
Oh yeah, you guys. You should see me before. I'm probably pacing a little less than you guys are on a Saturday, but not by much.
Hey, no, that's all right. No need to compare. No need to compare. You're passionate about your stuff. We're passionate about our stuff. Like, no, it's
Oh yeah, no,
all
that's
right.
fair. Totally fair.
Yeah.
No,
Wait,
I mean,
oh, what were you saying, Levi?
I get it. I mean, when my kids go out to wrestle, I still get nervous for that. Even kids that aren't my blood kids, you know what I mean? So it's I ain't even got to do nothing. They're the ones going out to do it, but the nerves are still there. So I get where you're coming from.
Honestly, dude, I feel like it's harder cornering people and like being there for people not in control. Like, I'm less nervous going into a fight than I am cornering somebody. Like when I'm cornering somebody, I have no control, and it's
Right.
rough. Like you care so much, and you're like, oh man, I want to do the right thing. I want to do the right thing, and like I want to say the right thing. It's rough. So honestly, I feel like cornering somebody or coaching somebody is way worse than fighting. Like when you're fighting, yeah, it's nerve wracking as hell, of course, absolutely, but you're in control. So it's a little less nerve wracking compared to when you're cornering somebody and you care about them so much. Like it's rough. So no, I get it, Levi. It's I feel like it's harder coaching somebody than it is actually doing it. Personally.
Oh yeah. So, sometimes, I mean, it just depends on like that situation.
I
So
mean,
like a
yeah,
normal
fair.
duel, say they're normal duel matches, I don't get all that nervous for. But when they're going for district titles, yeah, that's a little more nerve wracking.
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
I almost got kicked out of my brother's upward basketball tournament about a decade ago because I was arguing with the refs too much. So I figured you guys would know.
Oh yeah, been there.
Hey, it
Go
happens.
ahead,
Yeah,
Coach.
it
This is a
happens,
youth
man. It
league.
happens.
I was like, I haven't said one swear word. I'll have you know. Oh, Wade, what else you got for him, brother?
Not too much. I was just gonna say, if you guys had any last question, I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time. I just appreciate you guys showing up and doing this interview.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I'll start with Levi. Who do you want to shout out? And
I mean, God, because we are second, as you know, as are we all. One more bar and grill. Where's that? There it is. My official sponsor for this one.
nice.
Out in Fayette, stop by and try them. People in Toledo, you got to drive right past there to get out to the fights. I want to thank all my training partners, G Money, my nephew Chris, all three of my sons. They've been out there with me throughout this camp. My wife, just for dealing with me and being a bully when I need it. My parents, my brothers. I mean, Chad Zentgraf Tattoos, check them out. Famous Deuce, he made me some music some years ago. Never got to thank him live for that. So
Awesome. Mike, you got anybody you want to shout out?
Just my family for being there. Mainly my brother. He's gonna be an honorary corner Saturday, and looking forward to him being there. Shout out to Gary Young for being supportive through all of this. He's a real dude. Other than that, the Swans out at the park while I'm running when they chase me and shit. You know, I mean, I don't know.
That might be my favorite shout out that we've ever had. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, the Swans out of Ottawa Park, man. They're the real deal. They're the real deal. But no, I mean, I don't have any sponsors. I don't Gary Young, Demolition Fight Team, for being supportive. My brother, my family, my dad. Hell, honestly, shout out to Lino. He's been supportive. He's been cool. He taught me a lot in my last fight. My cat, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, that's about it, man. I'm just ready to go. I'm ready to you know what? No, the guy that just commented.
Mike Widmer.
No, Mike Widmer. Shout out to Mike Widmer.
Shout out
He
to Mike.
has been a great coach to me over the years. He's been a great friend, and shout out to Mike Widmer. So yeah, that's about all I got.
Got a
Awesome.
little
Lino
love
in the
from
chat.
Lino in the chat as
Oh,
Yeah, Lino.
Lino.
Hell yeah, Lino. Good shit.
Oh,
That's awesome.
That's a funny comment.
That's
I
great.
like it, Lino. Hell yeah.
That's great.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming on. We're definitely looking forward to the fight. Like,
Oh yeah, can't wait.
Mike said, it's gonna be an awesome fight between awesome competitors, and
Yeah.
just can't wait for you guys to put on a show.
Hey, appreciate you guys for having us on.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
it's been a good time.
Well, you guys enjoy your night.
Thank you guys.
thanks,
Much
fellas.
love.
I'll be chasing you down at the weigh-in so I can get all your announcer information. All right. So
Yeah.
I'll see you. I'll see you nice and early Saturday afternoon, fellas. No.
Yeah, I
Sounds
hear you.
good.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
Sounds good.
Thanks again.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Later.
Oh. There we go. Thanks again. Hey, thanks again to both the fighters. Shout out to them for taking the time. Thank you guys in the chat. Really appreciate when you're hanging out there. Again, my apologies, Justin Wagner. I felt really bad.
Yeah,
I felt really bad.
Liver, huh?
I was rapid firing through some comments, and then luckily I'm just glad he said this one, because I was like, oh snap, I did miss a question in there, so my bad, guys. But no, it was great. Really appreciate when they take the time to talk with us. Wade, are we going to talk with the folks about the rest of our Saturday night card? I know we got a little tournament action.
Yes, absolutely. We'll start off with the heavyweight tournament. We got Thomas Wayne, Batman's dad. Remember him from last one?
Of course.
Yes, he's taking on Matt Mercer in the first round of the heavyweight tournament. And then we got Mallow Mitchell versus Julian Minster. That's going to be a good one too.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize it, but Julian Minster is like 6'8", like he's huge.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Okay. Hey, you know what? I got Mallow. Still, it's gonna be a show.
Yeah.
It's
So
been
that
a
one's
while.
gonna be a
It's been
good
a while
one.
since
Wow.
I feel like it's been a while since I've seen Mallow fight. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Shouts out if you're watching, by the way.
So that's what we got in the heavyweight. That's going to be some heavy hitters.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nice one.
Yes, and in the 170-pound tournament, we got Josh DeWitt versus CJ Bomer. And then we have Gates Cook versus, there he is.
Whoa, look at that. Good timing.
Versus Peter Crotty. I think that's how you say his name. So that rounds out the 170. So it's gonna be nice because we're gonna see 2 belt fights. They got a first round, second round, and see how that plays out again. That's I love that mystery behind all those variables. And then obviously we have Levi versus Mike in the co-main, and then we have Coco Sims versus Caden Stevens for the main event. And I know Coco is a heavy hitter. Don't know much about Caden Stevens, but I think it's going to be some heavy hitting in that main event as well. So
that's right.
Hey,
it's been a
shout
while.
out to Connor.
What's up, Connor?
You want to jump in the heavyweight tournament?
Yeah, I was just about to. Yeah,
We'll put some weights in your pockets, man. You got it.
Hey, there we go. Yep, you got it. Nice. Connor will be there. We'll have him. He'll be at the ready to jump in in the heavyweight tournament if needed. But no, shouts out to you, Connor. Yeah. Was there anything? Did we cover it all? Is there anything else? Now I know one thing I need to point out and say is that if you aren't able to meet us up in Angola, there's a link right now. I believe if you go to Carnage Fight Series on Facebook, if you go to Carnage Media on Facebook, you can go ahead and get the link. Wade, is it available for pre-order yet?
Yes, it's available for pre-order. Just hit up
Hey, Zach. Don't encourage him, he'll do it. But yeah, so if you guys want to watch along with us, the pay-per-view link will be on Carnage Media's Facebook page. It will be on Carnage Fight Series, and we'll go ahead and put a post up on bitesizesports.com as well. So you'll have all of those places where you can go find the link. And of course, the first bell is at 6 p.m. Is that correct, Wade?
Yes.
It's going to be a nice, long night of fights. So we got to get it started early.
Yes. Yeah. It's nice to have it a little bit later, but then it's like, you know what? I'd rather get a little bit sooner, have a nice long fights, and then the breakdown's not as bad.
Yeah, especially in these winter months. You know, I think it opens things up a little bit. Once it gets a little warmer and the sun stays up to like 8 or 9 p.m., might be a little, but when it starts to freeze everything around you at around 6:30, you know, it's like those cards that end at 11:30 or midnight, they get to be a bit of a task. And that's the last thing you want is for people to be wanting to go home when the main event starts. So, you know, we're going to get things started early, make sure everybody's got plenty of time to hang out at the Eclectic Room. It is a wonderful venue for those of you who are able to drive to it. Now, the only downside is you won't get to hear Clayton and I talk you through. So, you know what? Actually, to some people, that might be a double bonus because I'll be there. I know they all love Clayton, but, you know, some people might say, here, take my money so I don't have to hear Kev talk. But that is quite fine by me. I don't care. Either way, as long as you watch these fights, support these fighters, I don't care. All right, Wade, what else is on the schedule for tonight?
I was just gonna highlight some of the UFC fights tonight. Well, the UFC fight night from last weekend. So jumping into that one, there were some good fights. It was fight night in Mexico City.
Yep, four split decisions.
Yeah,
that was odd. That was different for sure.
Definitely. I didn't see much of the prelims. I did catch the main card though. Did you have any, Clayton? Did you know any good fights in the prelims at all?
I didn't catch the prelims much either.
Yeah.
But like I said, a lot of split decisions, including our main event. We'll get to that here in a second. But I think that the most interesting fight of the night, in my opinion, lost Kev. Well, yes, we don't have a producer for right now, but don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep her rolling.
We'll entertain you.
Yeah, Ortega versus Yair Rodriguez. Brian Ortega has been around for a while. For those of you who don't know, he's fought 4 times though in the last 6 years. He's had some problems with injuries, and up until Topuria beat Volkanovski, I would argue Brian Ortega was the closest one to beating him.
Yeah, absolutely. He had that guillotine in so tight. I don't know how he didn't go out.
Yeah. Even Volk said after that fight, he felt the lights start to go out. I could not believe that he got out of that. That just adds to kind of the legend of Alexander Volkanovski. But overall, seeing some comments over here on the side. I don't know if you guys can see that. Zach said that the fights were better in the stands. There was a giant brawl that broke out in the middle of the card. Random people swinging on random people. One dude got 2 clean KOs.
Yeah, he did.
It was a good one for sure.
Yeah.
You're always gonna, I feel like at a big sporting event like that, you're always gonna have that guy in the corner that's like, yeah, dude, I see red and it's over. Like you gotta have that guy, right? Or else
there's always that guy.
Really a big time sporting event,
right? There's always that one guy.
I met that guy my very first gig for you guys. The very first Carnage Fight Series I ever did, we had that guy. standing there, probably had a couple of beers too many, just kind of yelling at anything and everything. And then it was, Dylan. Shouts out Dylan Butka. He was having a good time, I think, that day. Just like, hey, come here, talk to me. I'm over here, just like, no, please don't. I can't remember. I wish I could remember that guy's name. Shouts out to that guy. We had some fun with it, but yeah, sometimes you have those dudes where it's like, oh man, they remind me of Uncle Rico. If Coach had put me in out of one state, where it's like I could get in there, man, I'd put a Kimura on that sumbitch so fast, and then next thing you know, pow, pow, pow. That's why we have security.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But speaking of that, Brian Ortega and pow, 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 I thought he was going to go out. He got rocked.
He was
hard.
getting dominated, and especially the first round. He was just kind of in there getting his ass kicked, to be completely honest.
Yeah,
I have no idea how he survived that long. But finished him with an arm triangle. It's too early to give up on Yair Rodriguez, in my opinion.
I think so,
the guy's already challenged for a title. There's no reason, especially with it changing hands now. Him and Taporia would be so much fun. But featherweight is such an odd division because it seems like you got a bunch of old guys at the top right now who got beat by Volk. And now that the title's changed hands, you got a whole new realm of title challengers that are waiting for their shot.
Yep.
So it'll be fun. Featherweight's exciting. Every division in the UFC is exciting right now. Every division is getting a new champ. It seems like nobody's defending the belt more than 1 or 2 times. So it's a fun time to be an MMA fan right now, for sure.
It is. Anything can happen.
And speaking of split decisions from earlier, that's how our main event ended. Brandon Moreno ended up losing a split decision to Brandon Royval.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, Moreno is now 0-2 with 1 no contest in Mexico City.
Yeah, he does not perform well in Mexico City, I guess.
No. For those of you who don't know, Brandon Moreno is from Tijuana, Mexico. First Mexican-born UFC champion. He's just in a little bit of a skid. He's only 29, so he has plenty of time to bounce. Lighter guys normally don't start to go until they're 33, 34. Oh, he's 30, just turned 30. So he's got time to get back on track, but he's now lost 2 in a row.
Yeah, he's still in his prime. He's got a lot of time to bounce back. Did you have that scored that way?
I did. I thought that Royval did enough damage on the feet. If they would have given it to Brandon Moreno, I would not have been upset though. He landed more takedowns, controlled him a little more. So
yeah, I think he was just so lax. I felt like he thought he was doing enough just to get by and get the dub, while Royval was out there just putting up numbers. He was just touching. He had so many punches thrown and kicks thrown that he looked like the busier fighter, even when Moreno was having more control time and stuff. So I think that's why the edge went to him. I scored it personally to Royval just because I thought he was the busier fighter.
Yep. That was the difference maker for sure.
Yeah.
Big win for Brandon Royval too. Just lost a title challenge to Alexandre Pantoja at 125.
So did you see him throw up the 0-5? Did you get that?
0-5.
Yeah, so they panned to him and go, he was at 0-5. When I was like, what? Why did he do that? Apparently, that's their record combined against him.
Yeah. Because he's beat Moreno. Yeah. All right. Well.
Yeah. I thought that was funny.
He's good, man. And he's likable too. Like he seems like a very humble guy. I have no beef with Pantoja. I was rooting for Royval, I won't lie. When it comes to 2 guys that I'm kind of even on usually, if one's American and one's not, I'll root for the American guy because USA in this hoe. But flyweight always needs new contenders. So no matter what, we're gonna figure it out at flyweight. Interested to see who they put up with him next.
Oh, for sure.
But gentlemen, we had an event like no other this past weekend over in Saudi Arabia. We had the PFL champions versus the Bellator champions, and gentlemen, the Bellator absolutely mopped the floor with the PFL. Oh my God. It just, gosh. I believe there were 6 fights. Yeah, 6 fights in the main event, and the PFL won 5. Bellator won 5. The only one that the PFL won was kind of a waste of time, in my opinion. Like, Ryan Bader's 40 years old. He's not going to win.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No.
I know that you nostalgia MMA guys were like, Ryan Bader had one more in him. No, he didn't. But overall, I really enjoyed Jason Jackson from Bellator. He finished Ray Cooper the third with ground and pound in the second round. Yoel Romero and Thiago Santos. Guys, Yoel Romero is, I think, 45 years old.
Yeah, he's a freak of nature.
Just a crazy athlete there. The only 2 PFL fighters that fought Bellator guys that I won, I think the only one that won was Renan Ferreira, who beat Ryan Bader.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just saw that he's going to be fighting Francis Ngannou.
Now, gentlemen, I've been thinking about this a little bit. Can you imagine the fallout if Francis Ngannou loses this fight?
Oh, yes.
By some miracle of God, because you got to think. I know everyone's bullying me in the comments. Listen, just hear me out. This is the heavyweight division. You can get caught at any time. Anybody is big enough. Anybody is bad enough to make it happen. Yep. Everybody at heavyweight has a puncher's chance. Can you imagine all of the time, money, drama, everything that falls here if Francis Ngannou somehow loses?
Yeah. They've been building him up so much.
They've spent so much time promoting him. They've given him like an ownership slot. He's the president of PFL Africa. Like they've
that
almost
can't go
went
wrong.
Too far. Yeah.
Yeah. What could go wrong there? Jeez. Yep. Yeah. I don't think it's gonna happen, but God, Clayton, you're right. Like
it's fun to think about, though, isn't it?
And even, yeah, and I don't know, that whole making an active fighter president of something, I think is one of the ideas that I've heard in my lifetime. Certainly is an idea. That's all I'll say. I'm trying. I gotta get better at that, guys. You know, in case the PFL ever comes calling. You know, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, that guy who called you an idiot a couple days. Wait, whoops, did I say that? My bad.
And the other one that I wanted to shout out before we move on was Biagio Ali Walsh, the grandson of the boxing legend Muhammad Ali, moves to 1-0 in his pro MMA career with a unanimous decision. Obviously, that story kind of sells itself, right? Yeah. His brother is currently a pro boxer for Top Rank. I happened to be watching a Top Rank card right before I came to college, and Biagio Ali Walsh wore a pair of Muhammad Ali's trunks in his pro debut. So yeah, being able to like watch him and follow him throughout his career has been fun. I'm not a huge PFL guy in general because I don't like that you can't use elbows. Like that's a pretty significant weapon that you're taking away from people, in my opinion.
Agreed.
But his storyline is enough to keep me involved. Like I said, Bellator owns the PFL. I don't care what the paperwork says. So,
yeah, I guess all this proved was that Bellator was a true number 2 promotion out there right now.
Yeah, like everyone's like, this is what irritates me about MMA fans is everybody's like, oh, the PFL, it's the new thing. No, it's not. No, it's not. The talent there is not as good as the UFC. And we found out it's not as good as Bellator either.
Yep.
So like it's I don't know.
Yep. Well,
It's
now it's going
frust-
to be a number 2 because they're just going to be a Bellator takeover and just slap the PFL name on it.
I mean, they might want to slap the Bellator name on it.
Yeah,
They
seriously,
might want to
dude.
rebrand. That's that. You know what would have sold a few more pay-per-views on this ticket is if that had been the naming rights on the line.
Oh
Like it's
my
like the
God.
Survivor
So
Series,
much
all right?
fun.
Little wrestling minute crossover here, where it's like, yeah, whichever promotion wins the most fights, that's what we're calling this thing moving forward.
Guys, I have an idea. We shoot a season that's the Ultimate Fighter, not called the Ultimate Fighter, but we at the end of the season there's a tournament. Like you pick a weight class, so like pick lightweights, right? You do 2 PFL guys, 2 Bellator guys. Tournament, winner, promotion name. Just saying, I'm made of money. I got the $1 million ideas. Just saying. Just saying.
I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, overall, I was very impressed with Bellator. They showed up and showed out.
Yeah. I was too. And then, yeah.
Zach wants to know, is Bellator better than one champion, Wade? I
don't know. I just think one champion is just so foreign to most people because it just hasn't been in the U.S. that much. They just cracked into the U.S. with
it's within the last 6 months.
Yeah, it was in Colorado. It was with Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse was headlining that one.
Well, that would do it.
So I don't know. I think it's just too new right now, but I think their idea and how they approach the mixed martial arts is a very unique idea, which I think could grow. They put kickboxing, grappling matches, and MMA matches. They do hybrid matches.
Muay Thai.
Yeah.
One Muay Thai, ladies and gentlemen.
Muay Thai, yep.
We've talked on here. Like, I remember one time Mike Bennett came on here, was like, you guys are going to see some blood. You want to see some blood? Watch some 1FC Muay Thai, dude.
Yeah.
Those guys are crazy.
I think the USA going to learn today. That's what I'm going to say about one championship because I've been watching it and especially now that it's on Prime. I love it. I think they're going to grow to number 2.
I don't know a whole lot about one. Of the couple cards I've seen, I've enjoyed their product. It's a great Bellator and the PFL are literally the same thing in the sense that they all are a decent option for guys to go make money if they don't want to be in the UFC.
Yeah, I agree.
Like if that's the route you want to go, all the power to you, man. Like, I forget what that one guy's name. He just won the lightweight tournament, but he was a guy in the PFL. Wasn't real. He was like an average at best UFC fighter and then left and made $1 million. So it's an interesting concept. It's good for the sport. It's good to have competition that promotes growth, that makes the UFC stay on its toes. It makes, the PFL stay on its toes too, because they got to figure out how to become number 1. But overall, I like one's product. They do a very interesting thing with weight cutting too. They do hydration tests to try and prevent weight cutting.
Yeah, which is really, really good, I think. Safety for the fighters.
I did, however, one time see in an episode of a podcast how you can beat that. There is a way that you can beat that. This dude, I don't know if he was a doctor or if his buddy was a doctor that told him to do this, but like he chugged like a gallon of distilled water and didn't pee and then cut like, I want to say 19 pounds in a sauna in 5 hours and then just took a pee and passed the hydration test. So like there are ways to get around it, which is kind of weird to think about.
That is interesting.
Nope, couldn't do that, dude. I can't make the 3-hour drive up to Angola without stopping for a bathroom break. So I'd have no chance with that one.
Well, before we dive into everybody's wrestling minute, there are a couple fights this weekend I want to shout out. Another Apex card. I saw a debate online today where people were like, well, should we have more stacked and the UFC should travel more cards, or should we just have fights every weekend? The answer is have fights every weekend.
Yes.
The answer is have fights every weekend. Guys need exposure. Guys need to get in there and fight. And it's just not feasible for the UFC to travel somewhere new every weekend, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's
Like
not.
we've learned this through this business. It is a
Mhm.
pain in the ass to set up camera equipment.
Yep.
It's a pain in the ass logistically to move everything. I
Mhm.
get why they do Apex cards. Now, do I wish they did fewer? That's different argument there. Different argument. But overall, the Apex is a good thing for the UFC. It really is.
It really is. I agree.
And this weekend we have Jairzinho Rosenstruik, Biggie Boy, such a funny nickname, versus Shamil Gazayev. Don't know anything about this dude, but he's 12-0, so he must be doing something right. Muhammad Makayev, 11-0 flyweight prospect. We were mentioning earlier, flyweight needs contenders. So interested to see how this guy will end up. Just submitted former Ultimate Fighter winner Tim Elliott not that long ago. And then, gentlemen, arguably the second most important last name in mixed martial arts, Nurmagomedov, Umar Nurmagomedov, cousin. I believe he's Khabib's cousin.
I believe so too.
He's making a return this weekend, minus 1,600, boys.
Ooh.
That is a what's even crazier is his opponent is 17-1.
Wow.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got 16-0 versus 17-1, and 16-0 is minus 1,600. And then the only other guy I really need to shout out on this card is a guy named Eric Anders. That might not mean a whole lot to a regular MMA fan, but this guy is a former Alabama football player, won a natty under Saban, and transitioned to MMA. Transition to MMA. I love that. I really wish that MMA would get more NFL washouts, because you'll see guys with like wild athleticism that just aren't good enough to play in the NFL. You know, we saw that with Brendan Schaub, right? Became a ranked heavyweight, fought on the Ultimate Fighter, lost the finale to Roy Nelson. Again, another veteran of the sport who's now doing bare knuckle MMA. Like nuts, crazy. Anyway, I wish that we would see more NFL washouts. We have one in Austin Lane right now. Greg Hardy was in the UFC.
There's always Brock Lesnar. I know he's not someone people like to talk about now, but he did a lot of impressive things in the UFC, regardless of his weird texting habits.
Yeah.
Which I don't condone, but, you know, still, I am agreeing with Clayton that there is the great opportunity in former athletes, which honestly we'll touch on again here in an upcoming segment too.
But I think that once Justin Gaethje summed it up perfectly, this sport is still so young and it's hard to get salaries up. And I think that I wrote a paper on the UFC and the controversy surrounding their salary stuff when I was a freshman in college.
Nice.
And what I found is that the UFC actually pays their fighters more than they should. So take that as you will, ladies and gentlemen. You guys come after me. I'll send you the paper. I have it somewhere. But yeah, I think that as the sport ages, salaries will continue to go up, and when pay continues to go up, you'll get more guys that are like, all right, you know, my dream of playing in the NBA is over, but you know, punching people sounds kind of fun. Let's try that.
Yep.
But that's pretty much all I have this weekend. Go Eric Anders, and obviously rooting for Biggie Boy. So Kev, sir, it is your time to shine.
Thank you, Clayton. You all know what that means. It is time for the Wrestling Minute. Now, before I get into all the big news, something that Clayton was just discussing, it pertains to wrestling, something that the WWE has made a move to do that, although it's apples to oranges, it kind of speaks to that idea of going after already established athletes as opposed to now in the wrestling talent pool. You have people who wrestle for the other big companies like maybe Japan or AEW. You have the indies, or you have, as Clayton talked about, failed NFL athletes, former Olympians, stuff like that. And in the most recent WWE Premium Live event, the Elimination Chamber, a former Team USA gymnast who goes by the ring name of Tiffany Stratton did a pretty damn cool moonsault off the top of those capsules. Wade, do you remember the Elimination Chamber? You know what I'm talking about? It's got like the 4 pods inside. It's a 6-person match. Starts with 2 people. Every few minutes, they open up one of the pods on the inside, and the pods are made of plexiglass. So, you know, someone's always going through one of those. Okay, so nowadays they do everything twice. So if it's Elimination Chamber, Hell in a Cell, maybe not, but Royal, you know, so there's a women's Royal Rumble, men's Royal Rumble. So there's a women's Elimination Chamber, men's Elimination Chamber. Well, the women's featured a rising star, so to speak, from their NXT, their minor leagues, as it were. And yeah, she's former Olympian. I don't know if she actually made the official Olympics team, but someone part of Team USA Gymnastics. So not someone from the indie circuit, just a bona fide athlete who's great at doing flips. And then they trained her on how to be a wrestler. So just another sort of sign that there's a lot of opportunities. If you're just a good athlete, there's plenty of ways for you to go and make money, even if you don't make it in that first realm. So whether it's the true combat sports or whether it's more of the sports entertainment, I do think that will be a trend that continues. Now, as we get into the bigger stories, guys, WrestleMania is upon us. There are no more premium live events for WWE until WrestleMania. So it's time. It's here now. We've got about 30 something days until WrestleMania. So now is the time for those casuals who just want to tune in to the Super Bowl of wrestling. Now would be the time to start checking the WWE's YouTube channel every once in a while so you can catch up on the big storylines. Or, if I may, you can just tune into this show every Wednesday and I'll keep you in the loop. So Drew McIntyre won the men's elimination chamber after our favorite crypto scammer, Logan Paul, who was eliminated earlier in the match, knocked Randy Orton out with some brass knuckles. So I hate to say it, guys. Logan Paul is getting pushed into the main event. We are only going to see more of Logan Paul on our televisions because he's really leaning into the bad guy aesthetic and it plays well. People love to boo a guy who scammed people for millions of dollars and had to move to Puerto Rico to avoid the American government, allegedly. You know, I don't know about that. I don't know about all that, but you know, he's in Puerto Rico now, unrelated, I'm sure. So yeah, we get everyone's favorite influencer, Logan Paul, more of him in the WWE, but we have our 2 title matches locked in. Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins. Cody Rhodes will be fighting Roman Reigns. The Rock is back out of WrestleMania as of right now, but people are thinking that he will still main event night 1 in a tag team match, which honestly, guys, I think is probably the best for The Rock. You know, the one thing you guys have probably remembered every time I talk to you about this guy is how he looks like he's out of breath after he walks down the ramp. So, unlike Black Adam, you won't be able to take 48 takes at WrestleMania till you get it right. So I do think they're going to try to protect the apparently out of shape The Rock. I mean, he's in better shape than I am, let's be clear, but not in wrestling shape, I should say. 100% natural, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. You know, most 50-year-olds are in better shape than they were when they were 35, but you know, that's how nature works. Yeah. So there we have it, guys. The WrestleMania card is almost slated. The Rock is scheduled this very Friday to either accept or decline a challenge from Cody Rhodes, because if you guys remember last time we talked, they were in Vegas and The Rock was slapping this dude in the face. So we'll see. The Rock may actually be wrestling on network television. If you believe that, I have some land to sell you. Hit me up in a DM. I've got bridges for sale. I've got all kinds of wonderful snake oils that I'd like to sell you as well. But that's it for me, guys. Wrestling Minute. Will you be keeping tabs on things for WrestleMania? It's a 2-night event now. It's WrestleMania 40, so it's kind of a big deal. It's not quite, you know, maybe it's in the similar vein as a UFC 300, right? It's a big one. 4 decades. They're going to pull out all the stops. So I'll start with you, Wade. Are you going to be tuning in to WrestleMania this year?
I've been thinking about it, and the more and more we keep talking about it, so I might have to check that out.
Awesome. I hope you do, and maybe we'll get a little watch party going together. But Clayton, what about you? I know this stuff doesn't speak to you as much, but are you going to be tuning in for any of WrestleMania this year?
Yeah, sure. I'll tune in. I'll tune in for the big stuff. That doesn't really bother me. I have no issues. As much as I would love to watch Marvin Vettori and Brendan Allen fight that night, I can move stuff around in my schedule. Known action man Marvin Vettori and Sean Strickland's bitch Brendan Allen. So
Ooh, the good thing about a PLE though is if you're on Peacock, you can just watch it later.
Right.
Just
right.
watch that. That's usually because we were working during the Royal Rumble, and so I'm like, well, I know what I'm listening to on the drive home, but yeah, so that'll be fun. Thank you as always for accommodating me, a wrestling nerd, for more than a minute in our wrestling minute. I think that does it, folks, right?
I think so.
Wade, we got anything else for the folks?
Nope, that's it. Where can they find you, Kev?
Oh, you can find me in about 15 minutes on the Dweeb Network. That is DD Weeb. We are talking about the newest episode of The Bad Batch, as well as, guys, I don't know if you've heard this on the internet, but Jar Jar Binks may be coming back to the Star Wars universe. So I got to look into that, and we'll be talking about it here shortly on Dweeb. You can also find me tomorrow night on Bite Size Sports talking about NBA on the Bounce. Sunday nights, Tuesday nights, right here on the Clout Route. Shout out to the Clout crew. Go check us out. We just interviewed Badwick on Tuesday night. Had a great time with him. And of course, you can find me on Saturday night calling all the action for this wonderful fight. But before then, you may want to follow me on Twitter at @KevNevick_, or give us a follow on Bite Size Sports because, gentlemen, I will be at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis tomorrow and Friday, and I may actually be there for an hour or two before Carnage Fight Series starts, depending on what time you need me to get there. So we shall see. But I will be bringing you as much of that action, as much analysis and insight as I can, and at the very least, some footage of some of the things going on at the Combine. So looking forward to that. And please subscribe to Bite Size Sports if you want to be kept in touch, because we'll also be covering the NFL draft from Detroit this year. So big things coming. Awesome. Clayton, what about you, sir? Where can the folks at home find you?
You guys can find my personal social medias at cscalina12 on Instagram and Twitter. It's Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to follow my podcast. We've switched to Mondays now. As you guys can tell, we're here on Wednesdays. So I filled that Monday slot. Hot Take Sports 16. Leave us your best hot take. And hot take, gentlemen. Sean Strickland exits 2024 with his belt intact. He's getting the belt back. Sean Strickland hype train, baby. Guys, ever since I made that call, I've been following Sean. He's so funny. Oh my gosh. He says a lot of wild stuff, but like I saw a video of him jumping over some flaming pallets on a motorcycle the other day, and I was like, you know what? Proud American. I dig it. We're here. And then I saw another video of him sleeping with an AK-47, so I thought that was kind of funny. Wade, where can we find you, sir?
Absolutely. You can find me on Wednesdays here. The new time, 7:30 Wednesdays, Carnage Unleashed. Also, if you want to keep up to date to all of the local and regional fights, like and subscribe to Carnage Media on Facebook, Twitter, Discord, and you can watch all past fights on YouTube. We put them out there. It's Carnage Media PPV. Check it out.
Absolutely. And all of our folks at home, thank you guys for tuning in. We started off with an interview this episode, and gentlemen, we're seeing a very different Mike Russell. So I'm very interested to see how that plays out. And Levi Klein's pro debut, along with all of the other action-packed bouts we have scheduled. The Electric Room in Gola, Indiana. If you can't be there, buy that pay-per-view twice. Mystic
Puka.
Mac once said that, and we will see you all next week.
Adios.
Are you looking for an energy boost without the jitters? Let our friends at Dubby Energy help you with their fantastic. Just visit www.dubby.gg and use the code BITESIZESPORTS at checkout for 10% off your order total. Again, that is www.dubby.gg. Code BITESIZESPORTS.